Welcome back to The Source. You know, last night's Ontario debates, leadership debates are over now. And, you know, anybody do a glancing blow, a knockout punch? I didn't see it. As a matter of fact, I tweeted last night that after watching the whole thing, I said, am I alone in thinking that Dalton McGuinty is the most marvelous SOB liar in the history of Ontario politics? And I got lots of response back saying that he was one of the best. But anybody win? I'm joined today by Dan Robertson, who's a conservative strategist, and he watched the debate, was part of Sun News team last night looking at it. Dan, what do you think?
Look, campaign strategists don't actually go into these debates with even like words like winning, knockout, scoring points, even in their heads. They've got a job to do. All they're trying to do is keep the conversation on issues that they think their guy is strong on. So, for example, Tim Hudak wants to talk generally about change. He wants to talk about taxes, broken promises, integrity. That's what they're trying to do. Dalton McGuinty didn't want to talk about those things, and Andrea Horwath had her own agenda. So, no, I don't think like there was a, you know, it's not a boxing match, it's not a debating tournament.
Well, the media sort of wants it to be that. Yeah, you know, let's just go to one clip. Let's go to a clip of Tim Hudak. I think he's talking about the taxes right now. We'll go to that clip if we could.
Families simply cannot afford another Dalton McGuinty tax grab. You've done it over and over again, and you say it wasn't easy. Sir, the easy choice is to increase taxes. You keep doing that because you can't set priorities. The challenge for leadership is setting priorities. Ours are health and education and relief for families.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about, Mark. I mean, that's the core of Tim Hudak's campaign message, and he was able to deliver that over and over and over again throughout the debate. I thought it was fairly telling that there was a question early on in the debate about seniors and whether or not you approve of it. Tim Hudak very skillfully took the conversation and brought it back to a discussion about taxes and waste in government. That's exactly what he wanted to do.
But why didn't Hudak jump in and sort of stomp on him and use the word lies? You lied about the taxes. You brought in so many taxes for so many years that we can't believe you about taxation anymore. You were a tax man. Why would he just come in and show a little bit of anger like I'm showing right now towards what he's done?
Look, people have certain expectations of what a premier is and should be, and they want a guy who's actually got some measure of control, who's substantive and shows a little bit of gravity and dignity. And you don't want to go too far. You don't want to push that envelope too far. Obviously, you want to, you know, campaigns are all about making choices, and so you have to draw distinctions. But there's a balance there, and you can't ever go over that line, because once you do, people just tune you right out, and they just think this guy is not fit to be premier.
Well, maybe so. There's let's go to McGuinty. There's a clip of McGuinty talking about, I think one of his programs coming up is the mess he created over, and we go to it now.
I think it's very important for us to invest in the clean energy sector. I think it's a great opportunity. I think we need to seize that opportunity. We're number one in North America now when it comes to producing cars. I want us to be number one in North America when it comes to producing clean energy technologies. That's where the world is going. I want Ontario to be there first in North America.
Now, I mean, the biggest boondoggle is this clean air energy program he's got going. It costs billions.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He's certainly all in for this thing, and he can't sort of back out of it now. I think that Hudak was sort of right to sort of chip away at that throughout the debate. He was talking about how it hasn't worked in other jurisdictions, how there are 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs lost created for every new job in the sector.
Yeah, he did do that, and he brought up the press conference
where
nobody was there,
which of course was a perfect metaphor for the policy, right?
Right. The subsidy ran out, so the jobs disappeared.
Right. The media show up the next day, and the plant had been shut down, and everybody had been sent home, and it was really never doing anything in the first place. That's the whole point. I thought it was kind of funny that I think in this segment, when McGuinty was going on about this green energy jobs plan, he cited an authority in its defense. It wasn't an economist. It wasn't a business leader. It wasn't a labor leader. It was David Suzuki.
Yeah.
Now, David Suzuki is a really nice man who's very well intentioned, but I don't want to put this guy in charge of job creation in Ontario.
No, and I say to my monologue, up yours, David Suzuki, and I really feel that way about the guy. Let's go now to Andrea Horwath, who talks about health care.
We need to change the priorities. We need to make sure that we are putting investment into long-term care, because you know what? It costs $1,200 for a person to stay in hospital when they could be in long-term care for about $160 a day. And in fact, with home care services, it only costs $60 a day. So we think that there's a lot of work to be done to change our priorities. Do I think the priority is to add extra profits into the system? No, I do not believe that that's the way to go.
Well,
Yeah, pretty characteristic NDP message on healthcare. I think one of the big question marks of this campaign, and certainly the debate, was Andrea Horwath's performance and sort of the expectations, because she's new, and with Hudak. This is, after all, Dalton McGuinty's fourth debate. So the expectations were for McGuinty were very, very high. Did he meet them? I'm not so sure. Ms. Horwath did, though. I think she did creditably well. And I also think that Tim Hudak at least met, if not surpassed, his expectations.
I thought she'd be more relaxed than she was, and she wasn't that relaxed. Hudak showed a little bit of nervousness too, but he didn't. I mean, what he did, I did appreciate the fact he talked to the camera more than, you know, looking at McGuinty, which is a big mistake to make, as though you're 0-1 guy. Talk to the people.
Yeah, well, the problem Ms. Horwath has is the perennial problem of third-party candidates. Only one of, unless something really extraordinary happens, only one of two men are going to be Premier of Ontario, Dalton McGuinty or Tim Hudak, and so she really had to fight. She really had to fight to get her voice in there and get her share of voice, and that led to her being a little chippy and aggressive at times.
Now, when you were in the PMO, you were behind the ads that just totally annihilated Michael Ignatieff. I mean, you're the mastermind of those ads. Why has Hudak not had those kind of things? Why? I mean, he seems to have come up this thing very slowly. I thought he'd be running away with this. I thought there'd be no need for a debate about 18 months ago after what McGuinty's record, yet here we are with the polls almost tied.
Well, look, you can't compare. No two elections are alike, and you can't compare what happened then to what happened now. I think that the Conservative campaign has been very focused on the things that they want to talk about: change, taxes, increases in cost of living, and broken promises. The real consequences of the last 8 years of Dalton McGuinty. I think they've been very effective at that.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there and see what happens on October 6th. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you being here with us today.
You bet.